Do you prefer WandaVision or The Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
WandaVision.
I think this is a tie for me. I can't really decide because the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was very bored and I wasn't entertained. The first two episodes of WandaVision, I wasn't very interested. And then the rest of WandaVision was very good, but in my opinion, it didn't stick the landing.
Okay.
So I feel like I feel like overall Falcon and Winter Soldier, but like I could make a very good argument for WandaVision.
For me, easily WandaVision. Now, I do really enjoy Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Sam and Bucky were never my favourite characters in the MCU either. But don't get me wrong, Wanda and Vision definitely aren't either. But I feel like when it comes to Sam and Bucky, it was Steve, or Captain America as he was, who was the reason why I watched them. And don't get me wrong, they're the best of this series. They're obviously the main characters. But it did just feel like a slower version of an MCU movie, and not as good as one at that. Whereas WandaVision was very different. It took two characters that were okay and made them really good. For me, I still don't understand the people find the first two episodes boring, because I was very intrigued and I found them entertaining. I think it was pretty funny as well. I think Vision was there's a bit of comedy in there as well. And personally, I think that was a great series. That's on par with nearly as entertaining as The Mandalorian for me. But I don't think The Falcon and the Winter Soldier reaches that kind of level.
You've just made a very good point that I don't know whether you realised, but you said about how Falcon and Winter Soldier is more or less like an MCU movie rather than a show.
Mm-hmm.
You said something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. I feel this could have easily been cut down into a movie without having 6 episodes, nearly an hour each episode. Because if you think about it, so many of the episodes are just the same shit. It's with the terrorists trying to stop the terrorists. Into the next episode, same stuff again. Mm-hmm. They didn't need to. I don't think they needed to drag it out that much.
I think
they could have fit that into a movie. They could have fit it into a movie, 100%.
Well, that's why I somewhat, I disagree and agree with what you're saying. I agree it could have been better as a movie, but also I disagree about them having the same plot every episode. For the first, not the first episode, that was just boring. But the second and third-ish episodes, I agree. I don't remember which one is from which.
Yeah.
And then episode 4 on, I thought was brilliant. But those early episodes were, I could agree. I see what you're saying there. But as the series progressed, I disagree that was the same thing.
And see, that's also kind of how a movie is. You have the first act, the second act, the third act. And in this series, the third act was the best act. But I feel like if they was to get rid of all the unnecessary scenes and dialogue, and even though it's character development, which was the best, in my opinion, the best thing about this series, was especially Sam's turning from the Falcon to Captain America. But that was mainly just the last episode. But obviously they did sprinkle it like all throughout. Then Bucky as well, coming from the Winter Soldier, although I still don't think that was very necessary, because of in the movies he kind of recovered in Wakanda anyway, so they kind of just brought that back to then add more character development, and he would just end up in the same place you expected him to be.
True.
Where was my point from the beginning?
I don't know.
We were talking about how it ends similar.
Better.
No, the movie. So I definitely feel like if they got rid of all of those, even though they're still useful, if they got rid of all that and they made it into a 2.5 hour movie, I definitely feel like this would be a good movie. I think it'd be a really good movie. But it's not, and they're kind of capitalizing on the Disney Plus TV show side of things, and that's definitely 100%. What they're doing, and they could have made this into a movie. I feel like they definitely should have, It doesn't take away from the fact that I still enjoyed it. I still looked forward to every episode. But for the most part, I only looked forward to an episode when I was watching it. I wasn't as hyped as I was for WandaVision for every episode in between. Because there was like cliffhangers at the end of all of those episodes. In this, it was...
there was cliffhangers in this one.
I can only think of
killed
one.
The guy,
yeah, I'm about to say, I can only think of one cliffhanger. And that's that one.
When he killed the guy, when Sam got the suit, and then Sharon Carter at the very end of the last episode.
Yeah, but they're not good cliffhangers. I would say
the last one is a very bad cliffhanger. I'll give you that.
Well, I would say
it's still a cliffhanger.
The only good cliffhanger I think in the whole series is what's his name? The bad
Walker.
Yeah, John Walker. Yeah, when he used the shield, that was a great scene, I think. But I mean, I don't think Falcon opening up his suit was a good cliffhanger because you knew exactly what he was opening up. It wasn't like what's going to happen in the next episode. Like it was
Well, I agree.
I know exactly what's
when
going
I
to
finished when I finished watching the episode, I was like, "Oh, come on! I don't want to wait another week for this. I want to watch this now." I mean, I know what it was, but I still want to. I wanted to see it.